A very good Assalamualaikum and a very good day I with our respective lecturer, Dr. Abdul Hadi. So today me, Husna and my group mates, which are Wong, Wenhui and also Ashila Amanda, will be presenting um, our website that we have, about Ashura model that we have used in our website. Wong, can you? So this is our team, which is me and then Wong Wenhui and also Ashila Amanda. So the content of Ashura model, there is 6 steps in Ashura model, which are the first step is analyze learners. The second step is state objectives. The third step is select media and materials. The fourth step is utilize media and materials. The fifth step is require learner participation, and the last step for Ashura model is evaluate and revise. So for the first step, which is analyze learners. So analyze learners is we specifically analyze our targeted audience. For example, if the audience are students or maybe new teachers or maybe members of organization or maybe group of youth or anyone could be our targeted audience. So we must be aware of our targeted audience in order to choose the optimum medium for achieving the goals. So the audience can be classified based on general characteristics such as age and gender, physical, emotional, and socio-economic status. The next one for analyze learners is we need to identify the audience prior knowledge. So why do we need to identify their prior knowledge? It is because to help them to relate the lesson better, and also they can make comparison between what they have learned previously and what they were about to learn. And then the last one is we can survey their learning styles, so we know their preferences in their learning. For example, visual, auditory, or kinesthetic. So we can make our learning suitable for their style. So based on our website, the targeted audience for our website is Year 3 pupils, and the age is 9 years old, and the gender is for male and female. The prior knowledge that the students had covered before is singular and plural noun topic. And the learning style based on our website, it is 50% visual and also 50% auditory. So the second step is state the objectives. Okay, so for the second step, we have to specifically state the objectives of our learning because it is important to consider the learning outcomes in advance, so the pupils would know earlier the objective that we have set. So objectives should be specific, measurable, and also clear for the learners to be able to obtain. So learners should clearly understand what they will get after they going through the website, for example. Next. So there are 4 basic parts of objectives, which are A, B, C, D. A is for audience, which are who is the learner, who are the learner. And then B is for the behavior to be demonstrated. For example, he can do it. And then C, conditions that will be used to observe the behavior, which mean the topic, or perhaps for noun, we can say common noun, proper noun. And then the last one, degree, which the learned skills are to be mastered, which is how many we want them to be able to obtain. For example, 5/6 5 out of 6 questions they are able to achieve. So for example, in our website, by the end of the lesson, pupils, which is the audience of Year 3, should be able to use be able to use is the behavior. The different word classes is the content or condition, and also correctly and appropriately is the degree of what they should be obtained. Thank you. That's all for me. We're going. I pass the next to Amanda. To Wong. Sorry.
Okay, so I will continue the third step. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so the third step is selecting media and materials. Before selecting, the teachers need to understand that every pupil is different and they must take into account their needs, motivation, and strategies they employ in learning a new language. They will gradually find out the benefits that can be derived from applying a language. Therefore, this is very important for selecting media and materials. It consists of 4 components that teachers need to understand. The first one is developmentally appropriate. The media and material selected needs to be helpful to be learned by the pupils. For example, we need to choose media that is appropriate for teaching common noun and proper noun. The next one, educational and entertainment value. It needs to be beneficial for the students to understand the educational topic and also learn in a not very stressful way. The third one, positive message. The media selector needs to bring positive images, positive message that aid students in helping them to understand the topic they are learning. So the fourth one is positive or neutral language. Moving on, a variety of learning materials can help to maintain student attention and can increase retention and comprehension. Then suitable teaching and learning materials can be chosen and delivered. Now moving on to the fourth step, utilize media and materials. What's in the website? In the website we have included many different kinds of media and materials. There are many animation, audio, and graphic. Animated educational videos enhance creativity in learners and motivate them to explore complex dimensions of knowledge. Through animation, complex ideas are broken down into simpler topics, and it's easier for learners to understand and grasp meaning. Audio. More nuanced information through tone and pace versus text. Those expressive audio can help students to understand the proper noun and common noun easily. They can also relate it to their real life situation and learn based on their prior experience. The third one, graphic. Graphic organizers are a helpful learning tool for students of all ages to organize, clarify, or simplify complex information. This is very suitable for level 1 students or maybe level 2 also. In the website, a theoretical explanation will access succinct and straightforward to elicit comprehension. Several attention grabbers, animation, and videos help them to visualize concepts and prompt them to think critically. This is how utilizing media and materials benefit the students. More effective utilization of teaching time motivates students to be maximally productive and promotes optimal learning. Next, some materials are modified or redesigned to be effective for the online environment. Pupils find it easier to remember the contents with the help of persuasive slides and infographics that are included in the website. Moreover, the menu is listed systematically with the flow of an effective lesson. It allows pupils to have a complete immersion in an activity with the help of a smooth transition. This is because the goals are clearly listed and instructions are listed visually. Hence, knowledge and skill can be passed into students with different types of relevant media and materials. That's all for me. I will pass to Amanda to continue.
Okay, so I'll be starting off with my point, which is require learners' participation. Okay, so before I elaborate more about this point, I'll be explaining that it is very important to note that students learn best when they are very active in engaging and involving in the learning and teaching process. Okay, so whatever is your teaching strategy, you have to take note that it is very important to incorporate questions as well as questions and answers in order for you to make sure that the students are very engaging and involving themselves in the teaching and learning process. Okay, so what are the importance of learners' participation? Okay, there are three importance which I have included in the slides, which are positive relationship. Why does positive relationship is very important? Because it is a catalyst to help develop a positive and to help develop a positive students-teachers relationship. Okay, the next one is it will produce a great learning outcome. Okay, students are able to gain a much more effective learning outcomes when they engage themselves with the class. Okay, so the third one is students are able to express ideas. Okay, so in this part, it is very important to take note that students expressing ideas is what teachers should be aware of. Okay, a passive students might not express their ideas well because they are not engaging in the class. So that is the reason why we need students to participate in the class. The next one. Okay, so the next one is the process of how to make students participate in the teaching and learning process. Okay, so the first one is according to the website that we have chosen, students are required to answer the pre-test before answering and entering the website to ensure the learning outcomes. Okay, the second one is when the students have entered the website, students are needed to read the guideline in the website before jumping off to the lesson. Okay, this is to make sure that they understand the process. All right, after they have reading the lesson, students will be assessed with quiz in order to ensure that they have understand the lesson and they really participate in the lesson that they have read. And finally, students will be needed to answer the post-test to differentiate the learning outcomes for the pre-test. The next one. All right, so we are going to be moving on the very last point, which is to evaluate and revise. Okay, so the importance of evaluation and revise towards students. The first one is to gain insight. Okay, so by evaluations, teachers gain an advantage which they will able to acknowledge what students understand and what students don't understand. Okay, this can be used as a guidance and plan. Okay, and the next one is teacher can set a goal. Okay, so why does teacher can set a goal through evaluation? Because in teaching and learning process, evaluation can be used as an assessment to what they will achieve towards the benchmark. So if the evaluation is used, the teacher can set a goal in the teaching and learning process that they will be doing. And the last one is the problem solver. Evaluation and revise can be used as a problem solver because in certain problems, they will need to assess the teaching and learning process. Okay, so they will find students who might have a problem in encountering, yes, they might spot the problem that the students might encounter. So through evaluation, teacher will spot the problem and they can make an intervention through it. Okay, so the last one is the process of evaluation and revise. So before the lesson, teacher will distribute Google Form of free tests in order to ensure students know what they are going to learn. Okay, just like before, the point before, this is like the same thing. So during the lesson, students will be assessed with brief quiz as an assessment. And finally, after the lesson, teacher will distribute another Google Form of post-test to ensure students are able to achieve an effective learning outcome. Okay, so in the conclusion, technology provides students with easy to access information, accelerated learning, and fun opportunities to practice what they have learned. Okay, so through learning technology for the future teachers trainers, and for the future teachers, it will enable students to explore new subjects, and it will help students to deepen their understanding of difficult concepts. So that is all from me. Thank you.